called in
to Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash and tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these stuff.
because they know the brews.
And they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Bucks and brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. Nick, this is either our first episode or our fourth, depending on what day you're listening.
And who you are, baby. So guys, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate you joining us. I am drinking some City of Byron Center tap water. What do you got, my friend?
I have some sparkling fuck ice fruit punch Starburst, which is very good. And if I finish that one, I have a raspberry lemonade
There you go.
to back it up.
So David's going to be peeing like crazy.
I will. Look at what Kristen said.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. So this episode, we are going to talk about, I have a small business. It's a sole proprietorship. It's growing faster than what I expected. Is it time to hire employees? Should I hire contractors? Should I franchise? What the hell should I do?
Yep.
And this came up because I went to Motor City Comic Con on the weekend. And I ran into a friend of ours that is in my garrison, and he was a lawyer for a long, long time.
Sure.
And he now is no longer a lawyer. I mean, he's still a lawyer, but he doesn't practice law.
Sure.
He walks dogs.
Good career change.
He's happier walking dogs than he ever was as a lawyer.
Yep.
He does, it's not that he just walks dogs. He does boarding and he does all sorts of dog stuff, dog sitting, stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I think I need to talk to Dawn because my business coaches are telling me it's time to hire.
Yeah.
And I know she's had some issues hiring, so I kind of want to talk about what am I looking for? What am I going to do?
I think this is going to be great, right? It is one thing I've been struggling with myself. It is why my businesses are not as successful as they could be. I get them to a good success and then burn out or do something because I don't want to take the time to hire somebody
Yep.
and train them and then have them leave and then have to hire another person. And that's just my own personal wants and things like that. So figure out, I do have employees for my LLC, which is fine, but we have a very mutual understanding. And when I say employees, right, they're 1099s, so,
Right.
which is one thing I would suggest for this human.
Well, and one of the things we discussed was I brought up the contracting thing, which of course my wife also said, well, just get some contractors.
Sure.
And he goes, yeah, the issue I have with contractors are I can tell them what to do, but they don't necessarily have to listen to me. They don't have to necessarily do it the way I want.
I mean, Michigan's an at-will employment.
It is.
Right.
So, I mean, you can say, I want it done this way. They do it the way they want, and you fire them.
Yep. Let's say it's just
But again, they're not beholden to whatever you set in place if they don't actually work for you.
Yep.
So like our employees at Break Room Therapy know this is what we expect. This is how you act.
Yep.
Whereas if we had contractors here, we can tell them that this is what we expect and this is how we want you to act. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to toe that line.
Correct.
So we discussed that. We discussed the hiring pitfalls that there are. And I brought up the fact that you always tell us we should be franchising.
Absolutely.
And I went into the reasons why we don't want to franchise, which is basically you're trading on our name. And he goes, well, that's the issue I have.
Yep.
Is anybody I hire, they're trading on my name. It's my name.
Yep.
So if they don't approach it in the same way that I do, they're basically an extension of me. And can I allow that to happen? And that's the real question is how much do you want to have control over how your company and your name is presented?
Mm-hmm. And that's, a question you have to figure out for yourself, right? We cannot answer that. But what you can do is stand behind your company and say, hey, I've made all the trainings. I've done everything for this person. Now, if you're looking for random help, so if you're at a point where you can afford or where you can afford a full-time employee or part-time employee with set hours and set guarantees, sure, put that time, put that effort, put that energy. But if you're like, hey, in November through February, I don't walk, I don't do anything, I don't know much about dog stuff, but like things aren't happening and you're not going to have this employee be working, then yeah, okay. Now we talk about, hey, I only need people from, Memorial to Labor Day. That's, when everybody's outside walking, doing all these things. Um, yeah, think about, hey, you know what, 1099. I just need a person to be able to help me fill in when I have too big of a gap. Now, if you're able to take on more and build more, and the way to build would be to get an employee to then build that employee up to be able to be a GM, right? In theory, on how business scale looks, right? Hey, I want you to be a GM. I want you to be able to take over this and then run it the exact same way that I would, or very, very close to, right? Um, and you're going to continue that, and then you know what? You're going to need another employee because you've built and you've done the right things. You're going to go through quite a bit of employees, um, for whatever reason there might be, right? Again, if you can think it, it's going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
So, what's your thought process on it?
So it's kind of twofold here. So again, it's hard for me because having this business kind of skews me.
Yeah,
Like if we were to open, let's say, a break room therapy in Illinois is far enough
sure.
away. I would still want us to operate in the same way that we operate. I would still want the same values that we have. And that would be hard for us to um, trust that somebody else would have the same goals as what we do, I think.
Well, but you can do that, right? So we'll take one of the biggest ones that we know, McDonald's.
Okay.
Okay, so as a franchise owner, you have to run things. McDonald's has their own school, right? They've said, hey, this is how this person's going to get trained. Everything runs this way. It's not that you get your fryer to do something different. No, every person learns fries the exact same way. Every person learns to cook burgers. You don't get to go, hey, I'm making this, right? Everything is very much structured and exactly how you want it to do. And if that franchisee does not live up to that, they don't get to be a franchisee anymore. Thank you so much for the heart, me.
You're absolutely right, but at the same time, so there we have a ice cream place in the area
Yep.
that operates on Fulton Street. Used to be a franchise.
Okay.
One of the things these franchises does is when they hand you their ice cream, they turn it upside down.
Yep.
He said, "I ain't doing that. That's stupid." And he was still a franchise for many years without doing that piece.
Sure.
Now, that's a signature piece for that place.
Yep.
They let it go on. Now, again, we don't have to let it go on.
Sure.
But maybe we don't know because we're not there all the time. So they don't do something specifically the way we want it to do it. And we can't watch every moment of every day.
Right.
And again, we're trusting that somebody is doing what they say they're going to do.
Yep.
And I have trust issues. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, and that's, say back to McDonald's, right? So one of the things is, so we know that there's 5 McDonald's around here that we can name.
Mhm.
McDonald's does not tell you what you get the price, right? We know some that have $1 McChickens, and we know 2 that have $1 McChickens and 3 that don't.
Right.
Right? McDonald's does not force you to have to run the sale, right? The same as Subway, the same as this. But they allow you to have your own certain little things, right? You don't have to have a play place. You don't have to do these type, but you have to run the business the exact same way. Now, in your example, so if that was a big concern for you as a customer to want to see this ice cream get flipped upside down, you go tell them, hey, and they're going to look into it as the franchise people. They're going to go. So if the owner is going to look and go, I'm not doing that, they will not have their franchise tag. Franchising, especially in the hospitality industry, right? So all of your hotels have to live up to a certain standard. They have to be to a certain thing. They tell you what toilets you can buy. They tell you what vanities you can buy. You don't get to pick, oh, hey, I want to go cheap on these beds. No, you have to. In order to have this franchise tag, you have to have these things. Otherwise, you're not a franchise anymore. And you don't lose your franchise within 20 seconds, right? They let you get back to it. So with this person, they chose not to franchise anymore, right? And so for you, yes, you have trust, you have control, you have, all these types of an issue, but that's what's stopping you from getting to that. And you're okay with that. And that's fine, right? Because you want the best opportunity in one spot. You want people from across the world to come to this one spot, right? You look at Disney, all their employees in character have to stay within character. They don't get to break character. If not, they get fired, right? They lose that. The franchise says this is what you do. So for this person, oh, you have to act like this. Yes, you're going to go through employees. If you have such a stringent reputation that this is what you want to uphold, you're going to have to be the one to lay down that law. So the things you have to understand about yourself is this is how it's going to be done. There's no anything or else around it. And word will get around. My dogs will be let out at 10 o'clock every day. They will eat at noon every day. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. If somebody lets it out at 10:05, you as the person that gets to go, oh, well, you know what? It was only once, you had something else going on. Or you can be that franchise idea or that owner that says, no, this is what we have agreed upon. This is what my customers expect. This is how it's going to be.
Well, see, and the thing I love about this person, so like they're at the point where I'm going to hire people. So they decided I'll use Indeed.
Yep.
And, you go on Indeed looking for jobs, you can apply on Indeed.
Yep.
Their listing says specifically, you have to go to my website and apply there.
Okay.
Let's say 95% of the people applied on Indeed.
Yeah.
He looks at me and he goes, I just eliminated 95% of the people that applied for this job because you can't read. Yeah. And if you can't read and follow my instructions, I'm not interested in employing you.
Well, and so here's the thing. That's a great way for that person to go about it. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm not going to tell you what to do. What I will tell you, though, is it's an easy way to figure out what employees you want, but you have a chance that you've lost, right? Because David, you're not going to read. Never going to fucking read that. But would you say I'm a good worker? I learn.
Yeah.
If you teach me exactly if you sit here and say, hey, these dogs are going to be 10 o'clock, I'm setting an alarm for 9:58, depending on how big your building is or whatever. And I will be at that door at 10 o'clock, right? These dogs will get let out. These dogs will come in. I'm setting an alarm for 11:58. I am pouring food at noon, right? Because I can learn hands-on. I can't learn from reading, right? If you say, hey, this is what has to happen, if you hand me a thing that says, all right, dogs get fed at this, I'm going to go, okay, yep, dogs get fed. But if you show me, hey, this is what we're doing at this time, I'm going to learn that. So
you're definitely going to lose people because of that.
Yeah, but they're not the people that you want. Right? You want a person that learns from a book, that can read, that can do these things. But now ask yourself, really, is that the person I want, or do I want that hands-on person that can do this? So,
well, I mean, you have to figure out who you want to employ.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not quite as rigid as what that is.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yep.
You want to be extremely rigid and say, listen, if you can't follow instructions, I'm not interested. Of course, this is a person with higher learning. They're a lawyer. They went through law school. They passed the bar.
Yep.
So they want a specific type of person. Now, I'm reading everything going, all right, this is how I do this.
Yep.
But again, you're not my ideal customer either, because you walk into a room and you're like, I can break everything in this motherfucking room. The Sharpie, the bucket, everything. And I'm like, no, don't break that shit.
I said, we've talked about, I'm your worst. If you, even today,
yeah,
if I were to book an appointment tonight, there's a 95% chance I would show up in the wrong shoes.
Yeah.
95, like not even.
Here's the question. If you show up with the wrong shoes and we say, Nick, you can't wear fucking sandals, would you piss and moan about the $10 we're going to charge?
Like, I'd be so happy you had something that I can still let my group still enjoy the
Correct.
time. $10, I'd be like, cool, thank you. I screwed up. We get into this room, I break the crate. Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm probably gonna fight you over $30 or whatever it might be. I'll be like, look, I can get you a new crate. I'll pay you 10, right? So I'm $20 deep into this thing. But yeah, for the understanding, no, I'm not reading it. And David, you text me every time we come. You're like, hey, don't forget this, don't forget this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
Well, and again, I mean,
Show up 15 minutes early. I'm like, I'll probably show up half hour early. Shoot the shit.
we have people that Dawn had this argument the other day. They're like, well, it didn't say I couldn't wear these shoes.
You guys
Dawn
say everything.
literally read everything. And she didn't even read it. I mean, she just said
Yeah.
everything it said. And they go, well, does it really say this? She goes, yeah, it does, because I wrote it.
Right.
I know what it says.
And that's my complaint with you guys for a person like me. Yeah, you just have too much information, right? Like, I don't go into, you know what? I know that going on a roller coaster, they repeat everything, right? Keep your hands and feet within inside the cart at all times. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Okay. What's my job? Keep my hands and feet inside the ride. First thing I fucking do. So, but you know, it's I they're reiterating that 1,000 times, and you know, no loose objects, things like that. So I am that person. I trust me because I know, right? I know what my limitations are.
If we don't say it,
Yeah.
it's our fault.
Oh, 100%.
If we say it and you didn't read it, it's your fault.
Yep. You say, and as long as you have a way for me to fix that, I'm completely okay with
Can
it.
I tangent time?
Absolutely.
Is there any way Nick could go and look at that house this week?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
There's your answer, listener.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Send Mr. Nick a text and he will tell you what day works for him and what
Yep.
time and all that good shit.
Yep. I will make this happen. This is so.
They are packed up and ready to be done. Needs this to be done ASAP. They are motivated. Nick loves hearing motivated.
So you sound like my kind of people. Yeah, so send me the information. So great tangent. I appreciate that. But back to this person.
Yeah.
So here's my advice. Since we are definitely different thinkers, it's funny. I like to think like a lawyer and say, hey, this is what this is what's going to get me the information I need, right? Just straight, simple information. Boom. But try it your way. See if you get a good employee. See if you get the employee that you want. Do it. Set yourself either a number of employees or an amount of time.
Shoot for the moon.
Right? And say, hey, tried it, failed, tried it, failed, tried it, failed. If that doesn't work, then look at the way you're doing it. Hey, maybe you have to go through one of these 95. Because maybe you actually want a person who has the history of being a dog breeder or whatever the heck job is that you're a dog walker. Maybe you have a person that has all this, but you've gotten rid of them because they didn't read the next instruction, but they know exactly how to. And so now, hey, I found the dog that loves it. Maybe you find a veterinarian that's in the same boat that you are and wants to partner and do the right. Who knows?
Well, you bring up a good point because Caitlin's not great at reading and comprehension.
Right.
But a wonderful employee.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better employee. Maybe she does the wrong thing and sends it through Indeed. Is that a type of employee you want to say, no, I'm not interested in? Now, myself, I would still want to talk to those people depending on what their work history looks like or, who they are, whatever's in their background that says, hey, this person would be great for this job.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't used Indeed for a hiring process, so I don't know much about it. Maybe you can speak on that a little bit.
I mean, they have a free listing that you can do and people apply. I mean, when we had people apply, we had one fucking guy that ghosted us on an interview and Dawn reached out and he goes, yeah, you're only paying X number of dollars. Nobody's fucking coming for an interview for that. Well, motherfucker, why did you say you're coming for an interview then? I mean, all you had to say was, no, I'm not interested. And again, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of guys and girls that are ghosting jobs, which, okay, I don't know why you applied it. The same issues we have as job seekers are the same issues that job creators have. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ghosting out there on both sides. There's a lot of bullshit out there on both sides. And you have to figure out, you have to wade through the miles of crap just to get something that's worth it. And, I see it as both somebody that does hiring and somebody that needs to be hired. It's not a great situation by any means, but sometimes you're going to lose out on things that you should honestly have. I've lost out on jobs that I should get because they're looking for something that I don't check some box on.
Yep.
I've lost out on a good employee, I'm sure, because they didn't check something that I needed them to check a box on. Dawn has said many times, when we get people in here, she doesn't want to ask them to do anything out of their comfort zone. If we get a kid in here that I coach, they're going to do fucking safety. I don't really give a shit what they say.
Right.
They can sit there and say, I'm not comfortable doing this. And I say, great, we're going to do this one right now. Go.
Mhm.
And she goes, that's not fair. Right. Life's not fair.
Right.
I coach that kid. I push that kid. I know how far I can push that kid. That kid's going to go do safety right fucking now.
We're having that conversation with my daughter. This is something I'm gonna share. My daughter, like every kid nowadays, has anxiety or has things
Mhm.
going on, and it's something I didn't know we had. Right, my wife and I had no idea that this was a thing that we had. Right, she told my daughter, I used to get stomach aches and things like that, and then eat it and just be like, oh, my tummy hurts. It's fine. I say, every single year of school, or every time I transferred to school or did things, because I did that quite a bit as a kid, I would end up with, I'm not gonna lie, I'd end up with diarrhea before my first day.
Yeah.
Right? I get off summer break and go, and come to find out it's because I have such anxiety, right? Where it's like, oh man, my stomach, boom. And so I just learned, I literally fall right into place and I fit in and I do things, it's like great, but like that, when I didn't know I had social anxiety of this, and like people have no idea, right? And that's another reason why I drink, or I drink something. I'm always holding something while I'm having a conversation with a person, at an event, right? So if it's a meetup, yeah, I'm this calms me, makes me think that I'm part of one of everybody else.
We've gone to networking events together.
Yeah.
When do I talk?
After I talk,
And
after you've been drinking,
after I've been drinking.
yeah, just say
Because if you talk and I haven't been drinking, I'm probably still not saying shit.
right. It's to say,
But if I got a couple in me and you're talking, now let's go.
Sorry, I was handling some business, so these people work quick. I'm just letting you guys know. So, yeah, but no, to the person there again. There's going to be a wrong way to do this. There's going to be a million right ways. You just have to figure out which one works best for you. I can't build your business for you. I can't do things. Talk to you say you have a business coach. Find out if there's other businesses that they do that works out best for them. Again, you've said one thing I like is you've set a criteria that you're sitting behind and you're doing it, and that's the best way to start. If it doesn't work at that point, then change your mindset.
So one of the things I loved hearing from this person is when my business coach challenged me to find 7 extra hours in a week.
Sure.
I think it was 7. We're going to go with that. And I'm like, all right, well, that, sounds like it might be an issue for you. And he's like, yeah, boxing's really important to me because he does a boxing class.
Sure.
I'm sure he won't mind me talking about this because anybody that knows
This person?
yeah, they're going to be like, oh, that's so-and-so. Anyways, he's like, so I do my boxing class at 9,
Mhm.
but if I wake up at 5 in the morning, I can do the 6 a.m. class. And that gives me 2 extra hours a week. And we're talking about that. I'm like, all right, well, you still have to make up more time. He goes, yeah, that's basically what she said. And she goes, if you got rid of, let's say, the 3 hours of dog walking, that would give you 3 more hours. And he's like, yeah, but then I would have to trust somebody else to do it. Right. That's the challenge here. If you hire an employee, can you make more time in your life? If you hire an employee to say do your marketing or do your bookkeeping, or this person is extremely hands-on, just like my wife. They do all the bookkeeping, they do all the marketing, they do all the dog walking, they do all the pet sitting, they do everything. If you can find somebody to take any of those things off of your plate, you make more time in your day to devote to your business. We had this talk with Dawn when she originally opened. She was doing shipped on the weekends because we still needed money to live on. And that's how she made money. And her business coach told her, listen, you can't do that anymore. You're either fully into the business or you're doing too many other things and you're just negating your time at the business. And it brings us back to the old Ron Swanson quote. Never half-ass 2 things when you could whole-ass 1 thing.
Right.
And Dawn, until she dove in with both fucking feet and said, fuck it, I'm not doing anything else but break room, it didn't take off. And once she did that, it took the fuck off.
Yeah. And that's, it, And sometimes, please excuse me, sometimes you will find, I mean, like as this person did, right? It's taking off for them. And sometimes you'll like my tables and chairs. I did not think that it would take off the way it did. It landed so quick, so much, and I was like, I was not ready for this, right?
Yeah.
I was running it as a hobby, running it as like, hey, I got it. Just, if
Somebody once in a while will say, I need 10 chairs.
yeah, no, that's not the case. Like this thing is like, holy crap. And so then I had to like relook at myself and go, okay, do I want to, and this is where the employees, I was like, man, okay, do I want an employee to go do this? Okay, then I have to figure out how much I'm paying them. And then the other thing was like, I do I want to do this, right? Like, and so yeah, okay, it's good money. I've figured out how to get through, but like now I'm not setting up any deliveries. I'm not setting up anything like that unless I have a guaranteed person that's being able to do this. So,
Well, I mean, Dawn ran into that with here. She did all the pickups and the washing of the bottles.
yep,
And it turned into I can't keep picking up all the bottles and washing all the bottles because I don't have enough time in my day. I got to hire somebody. And that's how we have Chris, because Chris picks up all the bottles and he washes all the bottles. And when he can't finish washing bottles, Nick comes in and he washes bottles because it's not worth Dawn's time to do that stuff. She has other things that are more pressing than washing a bottle. You know what I mean?
yep,
And you have to figure out, okay, can I farm out some of these things that might not be as important? We fought for a long time about her cleaning rooms. She wanted to clean the rooms because she wants to do everything the employees do. That's great and all. You need to be in front of the customers talking to the customers. That's your job. Your job is you're the face of the company. You need to talk to everybody either when they walk in or when they walk out or both. So I can't have you go cleaning a room unless you're the only one here. If you're the only one here, by all means, go clean a room.
yeah,
But if you're not the only one here, then you need to be up front talking to everybody because you are the business.
yep,
They're buying you. They're not buying break room therapy. They're buying Nick Watkins. They're not buying E&L.
right. And that's, where the thing comes into play. Like, hey, can my, can my people represent the way I want the company to be ran, right? Um, I don't know. There's is I don't we've talked about multiple other things with like monster.com. If you're choosing Indeed, figure out, hey, this is the right structure. Um, you know, maybe even, so it sounds like you're needing an employee sooner than later. So find one that you like, interview that. The business coach is telling you to find 7 hours. Why? Because that 7 hours is going to be time for you to find your
Do something else.
interviews,
Yeah.
right? Your interviews are going to come and you're going to have this because you're going to get into, I don't know how long your training is going to take, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Who knows, right? It could be done in a week. I don't know your job. I don't know how it works, right? Um, but you're going to constantly fill that time with more and more and more. So, and after the first hire, it becomes easier to understand what your expectation are, what you want, and um, go from there. Really, I think it's a great question. It's something that every business struggles with because growth is so important, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get to that, congratulations on getting to a point where you're growing like crazy. So,
I mean, that's what you want as a business owner. You want to grow. You want to outgrow. If you have so much business that you have to turn business away, that's a great thing.
yeah,
Now you have to figure out how to pivot. Do I just want to keep status quo or do I want to actually grow and get bigger?
right.
And really that's, a question for this person that's running his company and
Yep.
and him and we probably talked 20, 25 minutes. I know he's going to reach out to Dawn and they're going to have a conversation
Yeah.
and I'm thrilled that they're going through this because, they found something they're really passionate about.
I say for my employees, I'm very lenient. My time frames are, I have a big time frame, right? So hey, if we're flipping a house, hey, it has to be done within 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever you do in between there, I don't really care, right? As long as by the time, I'll check in and be like, hey, where are we at? All right, are we on the right timeline? I'll keep checking in.
Mhm.
But if you wait till the last 2 weeks to get all the major stuff done, I don't, that's on you. That's how you want to work. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I'm just going to tell you the job needs to get done. Hey, I got to take off. I got to go do this. Okay, bye. Have fun. Like go.
They get 15 weeks. If they get it done in 13, do you care?
No.
You're happy, right? It's
Yeah,
done.
say they're happy. I'm happy, right? Because basically we say, hey, how many hours is this going to take? Okay, cool. Now, if you work 3 hours on Monday and 12 hours on Fridays, I don't care.
Yeah.
if you know, however you lay it out.
They're adults. You expect them just to get the job done.
Exactly.
This is when the job needs to be done. Make that happen.
Mhm. You know, we do things, but now
Do they miss?
miss deadlines. Oh yeah, saying very limited.
So let's say they miss the deadline. What happens?
We are in communications well before that deadline happens.
So it's not like the deadline's today,
Right.
and they call you up at 5 o'clock today and say, "Hey Nick, we're not done.
Yeah.
And we won't be done for 3 weeks."
Right. You know, if we go into, you know, I've had it where it's like, hey, you know, we thought we were getting this done today. I'm gonna need a day or two because of these. Yeah, we knew about these things, right?
Mhm.
But if you're getting into it and we're 8 weeks in and you go, hey, I'm just gonna go order windows, and now we realize we're 8 weeks out, that doesn't happen, right? We think about everything ahead of time. We know the structure. Hey, windows are the first things we order, right? Hey, this is the stuff that we're gonna get ordered because we know that it's going to take a while. It's going to be back stock. It's going to be all these types of things. Yeah, say whatever it takes to make this happen.
Right.
So now now have I fired employees? Absolutely. Right.
Is that fun?
No, nobody wants to do it.
I
Right.
don't like it either.
Nobody.
It's just a part of life.
Right. But hey, hey, I need so we had a 1 week timeline. Hey, I need this roof taken care of. Yep, I got it. Wednesday comes around. Hey, this roof hasn't even been touched. Friday comes around. Yeah, he was here, checked it out. What do you mean was here, checked it out? Like this roof's supposed to be done. Okay. Oh, I'll be there Monday. Monday shows up. All right, bye. See ya. Good. Gone. I don't need you in my life. You can't even make me a priority of things. Like because I run very old school, right? A man's word is a man's word. I understand very little, there's things that are out of our control. One of them is not one of the things we can control is showing up and being on time. Now, again, if my roofer was in the hospital and had whatever, I don't care. You know what? Perfect. Take the time that you need, get healthy, come back. But then when we talk about, hey, we have to get this done, at that time, I'll probably hire somebody else. You'll still be on the next job.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. If you just, oh, hey, I was doing this, no. We had an agreement. You were going to be here. This is what's happening.
Well, and we'll wrap up soon here, but to segue into this, we hired your niece.
Yeah.
At this company.
Yeah.
Had to fire your niece.
Yeah.
At this company. And the conversation Dawn had with me was, I just don't want it to affect our relationship with Nick. And I said, yeah, don't worry about that. And she goes, are you sure? I said, yeah, he's not responsible for what his niece is doing. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. He's going to go, well, you should have worked better.
Right.
And, we have no ill will towards you. We love your niece.
No.
We've known them since they were a little kid.
Yep.
It wasn't a good fit.
Yeah. Which, and that's the thing, like, it's different, and on the same token, right? Like, oh man, are you going to judge me based off of my niece? But like,
No.
as we talked about it, like ahead of time, like, I am not vouching. I am not doing any part of it. This is you taking your own choices, doing your own thing. And we came out of it perfectly amicably, right? I have no hard feelings. You guys did everything you could to make the attempt. It just didn't work out. And at the end of the day, it doesn't show anything about what I did or didn't do. Doesn't have any effect on me, right?
I made the comment because, of course, I was talking to my buddy about this. And I'm like, we've only hired 4 people at break room that we didn't know ahead of time. One of them worked out. The other 3 did not.
Sure.
And I'm relaying this to Dawn when I came back on Saturday, and she's like, why are you saying that Destiny's in the other room? I'm like, Destiny doesn't fucking count. We know her because of Chloe. We hired her because of Chloe. Chloe counts because we didn't know who the fuck Chloe was. Chloe filled out a thing on Indeed. We interviewed her. Well, Dawn interviewed her.
Yep.
And Dawn hired her because I was dying at the time.
Sure.
So we didn't know Chloe ahead of time. And we had 3 other employees that we didn't know ahead of time.
Yep.
Sorry.
You're good.
That did not work out for various reasons. But everybody else we've hired, other than those 4, somebody knew.
And Destiny, right, apparently came from Chloe. So that if Chloe's a good employee, she knows what other good employees are. She's going to say, hey, yeah, let's do this. And right, I think you should give this opportunity because they know who that, and so that you're getting the same type of a quality of an employee.
Well, I can tell you right now, when Destiny started, she was rough around the edges. She had some issues. We had to work through that shit.
Yep.
Because again, Chloe's like, listen, she needs a job. She's a good person. I don't know if she'll be a great worker. You guys got to figure that out. Cool.
Yep. We're willing to give it a shot.
Same thing with your niece.
Yep.
You know what? My niece needs a job.
I'm say we had talked about
Yeah.
my niece needs a job. Hey, I've tried to offer her my stuff and she doesn't want to do this. So
Maybe it'll work out better for you.
right.
Cool.
Take the risk, take the chance if you want to, but if not,
And we did, and it didn't end up working out, and that's fine. I ran into your niece recently-ish, and I got no ill will. I don't
right.
sit there. They hopped on one of our lives, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, kid, how you doing?"
Yeah.
I got no issues.
Nope, listen,
It just didn't work.
it didn't right. It didn't it's not a job that's intended for them.
I mean, Jordan got hired here because we went on a cruise, and I asked Jordan, "Hey, can you fill in at break room? They could use some muscle." And he's like, "Sure." And we came back, and Sam and Chloe had fucking hired him, and we're like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we hired Jordan. We love him." I'm like,
There you go.
"Does Jordan want to work here?" And they're like, "We don't care. He's hired."
Say
And I asked
That-
him, and he's like, "I had a lot of fun."
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you're hired.
so we might be doing another episode if you still have time. So
I probably could make a little more time. Do you want to cut this one up here?
absolutely. So guys, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate you listening. If you have any episode ideas, feel free to give us those ideas and we'll turn them into a podcast episode because we love talking about this stuff. We love talking about things that are going on in your life and how to make it just a little bit better.
Nick is sitting over here texting feverishly, so I think we're going to do another episode if you're on live with us.
Yeah.
If you're not, go listen to all of our episodes because all of them are great.
You've dialed in.
To Bucks and Brews, you might hear something
You can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use.
smarts of these
Because
stuff.
they know the
And
brews.
they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Brews.
Bucks and brews.